This time on Custom Works, we're going to be looking at the Meat Wagon, and we'll be looking at doing something with that roof, getting the top of the bodywork ready to take the roof, make a big fiberglass ring to build that roof off of. And also, we're going to be having an update on the non-standard. Let's get to the workshop. Then. Meat Wagon is, it's a project that's been going on for a while. We're really going to get back on it soon. Well, pretty much like right now, we're going to be on it. But there's problems. Just whipping up a body out of nothing but dye bond and fiberglass, just out of your imagination and all by eye, does go wrong sometime. And something has gone wrong on the back of the Meat Wagon. If we look on this side, slopes up to the top, goes from in, tapers in. We look at this side, very vertical, way more vertical than that side. And if we look at both sides together, it's clear to see it is not quite right. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut a pie cut out of here, and then I'm going to bend this side in a little bit. And then that should give us that both sides taper that we need. Okay then, so that's it. It's pulled that side in a little bit. That's all it needed. The pressure, particularly on that top ratchet strap, is unbelievable. I know this is just like a floppy hollow box at the minute of just fiberglass and dye bond, but my God, it's strong. So we've got that pulled over, we've pulled that in, we've got it right. Now I'm going to fiberglass up here, get inside, just make it a little bit stronger until all that sets. And then tomorrow we can take all of these ratchet straps off and it'll be right, and then we can start thinking about making the roof. So at the back of the truck we've had to level up this top line for the roof, just so that the roof, when it comes down, everything is level. And it is way out all the way round. Luckily I've got a bit of help. But yeah, it's all around here. So, I'm going to have to pack this up, fill it with foam, and then fiberglass over all of this so it's super strong. And then we can put the roof onto this and it'll all be level and it'll all just fit together just perfectly. Okay then, so the roof of the Meat Wagon. All of yesterday I spent just getting this top edge perfectly level. And it was really out, really dipped down at the front. Because we pulled the back together, it made a dip in this side. And of course that's no good for the roof to fit on. So I've glued all these bits of timber, well, plywood to it. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go around all of these bits. And what I'm going to be doing is cutting and then grinding all of this flat. And then I'll be going around this and fiberglassing this whole top piece together. Plenty of fiberglass, so it's just a nice big ring that's super strong. It's going to hold all of the body together, and also it's going to be the perfect platform for the roof. Other things to consider today, I have had to push this outside of the workshop that stays cool all year round. Never hot in there, like literally built of insulation. However, today I'm out in direct sunshine and it's literally like the hottest day ever. So this is going to be tons of fun, isn't it? what we're doing is, so we've got this this base plate for the top of the van to go on, but we're going to make this super strong ring that's going to hold it there, and it's got to be really level. So I've ground all this back. So this wood is flush with this. I've had to grind a lot of this timber off here. And then what I've formed here is just a straight edge to come to, so that when I glass this, I'm going to glass all this together so it's really strong. I've got a nice clean edge to finish on, so when this is filled, that will just be a nice body line that runs all the way around the van. At the back of the van, form this curve, same thickness, runs all the way around, and this will all be glassed. And what I've used is, this stuff's amazing though. This is about all I've got of it. It's like a strip of cork. I think you put it under a washing machine to stop it vibrate. But it holds really nice shapes, and you know, it's easy to cut and everything. So on these curves, which are like a compound curve, I've used that. But all of this is going to be glassed. It's all going to be super strong. It's a hot day, so the glass should dry, and then we'll be able to get on with more stuff. Okay then, so we've got this ring. It's really solid now. I've glassed all down the inside, glassed on the outside. This is level and solid. Now what I've got to do, I've got to smooth all of this out, and already I've started filling it, and a couple more layers of filler and it should be good. And then we're going to start making this cap that sits over this, which will be the foundation and the base for the whole roof. I've covered all this in this sort of corrugated plastic stuff, and that will set this 2mm off the actual finish level, which is behind here. So that will make a 2mm gap behind this. So when I come to sit the fiberglass roof over this, it will easily fit, and it will nicely fit. And what I'm going to do now, so I'm going to fiberglass from here right over and make an angle that goes all the way around here, and is you know, like a few layers thick in fiberglass. And then I've got basically a footprint that I can build the whole roof off, and is removable as well. After going around 3 times to get this lip over, I've put this plywood on edge all the way around. I'm going to glass all that together to get a rigid flange around the top. So this has been glassed and glassed and glassed. So this is probably 4 layers thick now, and it's got this upstand here that you know, is going to give real rigidity sort of that way on when we finally lift it off. Okay, so now let's have a look at the non-standard and see how we're getting on with that engine swap. Okay then, so we're prepping the engine bay, ready for some paint, ready for the new engine to go in. What I've done in here, basically I've just gone round with the Y wheel on the grinder, cleaned up these inner wings, got anything that's loose off at the back, cleaned up these wings, and any holes, and there were many, I've tapped and put these Allen bolts in just to fill all those holes, which there was so many holes on that side. I don't know what they're all meant for before, but there was a lot of holes. But anyway, there's no holes anymore, and there was some other sort of random sort of hole vent things up there, so I've put these plates over there. I'm just getting it masked up now, ready for heavy shorts down below, and then finer stone chip up at the top, painting their body colour, ready for the engine. Again, so everything's masked up now, everything's prepped. What my plan is here, I'm going to do all the top, back to there, so the sides of the engine bay, I'm going to do all those in the same grey as the body colour, and then these lower parts, suspension parts and everything, I'll do those in black, the same as the whole underside's painted. So it all should look good. Just for these top bits, I'm going to use, what's it, stone guard, whatever it's called, stone chip shield this one's called. I'm sure any would do. And what that will do is, it, you know, it just gives a little bit of leeway before you paint it. It's not going to be brilliant, I'm not going to buff it out or anything. It's not a show car, just trying to make it tidy, get it back on the road. Let's get some painting done. last thing you probably saw was us taking the engine out, and now, ta-da, an engine is in. Obviously, a bit of time has gone on between now and then. It was an absolute pain in the ass to do, and here it is though, it's in. Obviously I painted those bits and made this heat shield that we made. It's all looking really nice. Also painted in the bay, just give that a quick once over. And everything's looking pretty good. Obviously still some things to attach back and some wiring to tidy up. And at the moment I'm waiting for a starter motor, which surprisingly for a Pinto is quite difficult to find. You'd think they'd be everywhere, but this is what, a Pinto's a rare engine nowadays. I can barely believe it myself, but that's the way it is. Anyway, we've got everything in, and what I want something different for the air cleaner. So I don't just want the round thing, I don't just want one of them like little sort of K&N things, so I'm going for something a bit special. So then, knocking about, I had some of this like alley tube that, you know, is meant to give you like the cool air thing. And I don't know, it was really cheap. It's been knocking around for ages. It's also got this sort of like max power style air cooler. But I thought this will look cool under the bonnet. So the sort of look I'm after is that fits on there, and that sits there. And then I'm going to get my cool air through this gap where the fitted a new radiator as well. It's not quite as wide, a little bit narrower. Aluminium twin core, so the air will come through there, goes in the carb. That's the thinking. But anyway, how has it been made? So up to now I had this bend, and what I've done in the bottom is cut a piece of dye bond out to the shape at the top of the carb, and that fits on snugly. I made a piece of aluminium to end this up, so it's got the nice end to it. And I've just super glued and car filler just bondoed it all together. And what I'm going to do now, I'm going to fibreglass around here, around this edge, to make it nice and strong. And I'll probably fibreglass a bit inside, particularly on this aluminium join in here. And if you see here, I've masked it up. And what I'll do is, I'll fibreglass it, but not bring the glass onto the tape. And then I will remove the tape when the fiberglass is going off, and it should give me a nice clean line around there and a real sort of factory finish. So let's do a bit of fiberglassing for once, like I'm not always doing fiberglassing, but this time it's a very slightly different technique where there's masking tape involved. That's why it's on. That's what I'm doing. So there we go. Got a load of fiberglass on there, all holding all those bits of alley and dye bond together. I'll let that dry, and then we'll clean this up, paint it, and it should look great on the car. All looking good. Still just in rough fiberglass, and what I've done from when I put it on, I've just trimmed it, but now this base plate is securely fastened to there, and also that has picked up this curved piece of aluminium that I put in there that joins almost seamlessly up to there, and I've glassed it inside so it doesn't suck any air through anywhere else other than the filter. So what I'm going to do now is test fit it on top of the carb. Hey, there we go. That fits great. So it fits, everything's going to fit in here. What I need to do now is smooth out this piece of fiberglass and make that look like a plastic trim that runs around the bottom of this aluminium and seals to the carb. Now, I know it's like a fiberglass trim that does that, but as much as possible, I know this is weird with some of the cars that I built, but I try and make things look as factory as possible. I don't know where this factory is or who works there. Probably all been drinking on the job. I don't know. But for whatever reason, try and make everything look like it came from somewhere, not too much like it's homemade. Although everything's homemade, really, isn't it? Yes. Okay, pipe for the air filter. What we're going to do is I'm just going to fill this bit of rough fiberglass with some filler so it's smooth. But what I don't want any filler on this shiny bit. I want to keep all the shine, just add a bit of black. Now we know it looks this way. So this side to side to get best. This side, I'll give it my best shot, but you know, this is the side that really matters. So first off, what I'm going to do, I'm going to mask it up. That's all masked up. Now it's time to go on with a bit of filler. I'm going to take the masking off before the filler has dried. So what we should get is a nice sharp edge all the way around that filler. That edge, when it's done, the proud edge will make it look like this is a different section to that sort of thing. It should look like that sits into that rather than it's just a load of stuff glued onto it. Anyway, let that dry, sand it up. I fiberglassed this and made this so it comes down to a neat end, and then what I've done, I've just filled over the fiberglass, and this this black finish, probably going to have to be gone over again, but that is just truck bed liner in a can. Truck bed liner in a can just gives a nice sort of mottled finish, and I don't know, just makes that look a little bit more factory. Anyway, now we've got to fix it to the carb. So here's the carb, and this, so I cut the shape nicely underneath. This fits on nicely and goes onto there. Now that's okay, let's face it, it's going to drop off when I go down the road. So what I need now is a plate that fits to the carburetor and a plate that fits to the air cleaner. So I have made this plate, and this is basically 2 pieces of aluminium, and they're both exactly the same. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to bond the bottom one to the carb and glue the air cleaner pipe end onto here, and then by removing these you can remove the air cleaner to get access to the carb, and it's going to look pretty damn cool as well. So let's get to that, get this bonded on, and let's get this job, which just took way longer than I thought, done. So here we have it, the finished thing. We've got the alley plate there looking very nice, and also the other alley plate bonded on to there onto the aluminium. Now because this base was made of, the initial part was made of dye bond. Obviously dye bond is essentially aluminium with plastic through the middle, so I've bonded aluminium to aluminium essentially just there. And with Mitafix, it's a hell of a bond, it really is. It really grips. And similarly, around the flange, I just gave it a light sanding around the carb, then bonded that on. And again, you know, that is, I'm trying to rock the car with it. I dare say if the car had its original suspension, it'd rock, but because it's so low, there ain't no rock there. But anyway, that's bonded on there, that's bonded on there. Ample strength for an air filter. And of course, I've also got this little stay that I made just to support this, like, sort of snout, as it would be. Is that a snout? Is that what you call it? Like, I don't know. Anyway, so now let's get it bolted on, and this is just one more job done on the Enzyme engine swap. all done. So that's bolted in. We've got the little stay there. It's really strong. It's not going anywhere. I'm going to get better airflow through there. Nice cool air. Looks pretty good as well. So that is done. Also on the engine, thing to point out, I've used this flexible 22mm like plumbing hose here, because it's like £6 from Screwfix. It's really cheap. Adds a little bit of sort of, is the word bling? Am I going to say bling? Yeah, you know what? I'm saying it. I'm saying bling. Adds a little bit of bling to the old, you know, engine compartment. And here also, what's it? You may remember this heat shield from such episodes as I Make a Heat Shield. But yeah, there it is. Heat shield with dimpled eyes. Might notice these two holes are in different places. Yeah, that's because I didn't take into account that the alternator's there, so I had to watch it back a little bit. But those holes are just for extra ventilation. They make it better, if anything. So yeah, that's all that done. Now, things I need to do. We need Mr. David Lathe to finish the wiring so the actual thing runs. I'm waiting on the starter motor. And I need a washer bottle. Here is the washer bottle. Yeah, it looks grim. And like, if I mount this anywhere, let's just have a look. Oh yeah, it looks bad there. Yeah, it looks bad there. I know. There is nowhere this can be fitted. Now, just on a thing of washer bottles and detailing a car, I've seen washer bottles, this kind of, I think when I bought this, because I used to have the cover on the engine, I didn't care how it looked. When I first bought this, it's probably about £4, and it's great, does everything. Washes the windscreen, does everything it does, but it looks terrible. Now, I've seen this sort of thing on show cars, fully detailed engine bay, like a million times better than this. You know, someone's really gone for it, not just painted a few bits. And then this will sit on the firewall, some piece of junk like this. It looks like a milk carton. Coming up, I'm gonna find something better than this to be the washer bottle under the bonnet, because to be honest, this is not invited to that party. Okay, so that's it for this week. Join us next time. We'll be doing more Meat Wagon stuff, maybe even taking the non-standard out for the test drive. I don't know, but it's all going to be cool. So, between then and now, do the subscribe thing, do that bell end thing, and all of that other stuff. Leave a comment down below. And between then and now, thank you very much and good night.